Wow, am I live? I got it going. Hey, good morning, everybody. Holy smokes. Once again, everything on YouTube has changed since the last time I streamed on the road. But, anyways, we're here. Good to see you. Can you see me? I don't think so, huh? Yeah, nothing gorgeous. Same old, same old. So, let's do this. Today, we're going to run through the charts. We'll do gold, we'll do oil. Wait, where's the chat? I'm gonna have to find the chat somewhere. Gonna do gold and oil, dollar pairs, yen pairs, and that should be enough. Gotta find the chat. Oh, there you are. All right, hang on. I gotta pop this out, pop out chat so I can see you guys. Yeah, luckily I got multiple screens. Not that this is very helpful, but let's see over here. No, yeah, well, guess I'm used to seeing you guys over here. So, hey, without further ado, let me remind you that trading's risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. I guess that webcam, I'm looking here, but I'm looking there. Looks like the webcam's a little big. Hang on, let's get rid of that. What do you think? Will that do? Will that do? Yeah, that'll do, pig. That'll do. Cool. And now, wait, the chat's gone again. Hang on. Hang on, Bubba. Where'd you go, eh? Oh, for sure. You're a little bit quiet. Well, that's the best it's going to be. How about that? Let's see if I can change this. I don't think so. Speakers. And then maybe if I go here, open volume mixer. I don't think it's going to get louder. No, I don't think so. Look, are you sure? Everything seems to be maxed. I'm looking at the mixer, seems to be maxed. Well, there's nothing I can do at the moment, so let's just move on.com. Let me get that chat going again. Cool. So, did I do the disclaimer? I better do it again. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, not necessarily indicative of future results, but please stay small. Stay humble, focus on the long run. Never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Ah. All right, cool. So, hey, isn't it nice to be able to trade wherever you go, anywhere in the world? It's one of the best things about being a currency trader is that you can do this anywhere, anytime, 24 hours a day. As long as you got an internet connection, you're golden. So right now you're on my little laptop and my my two monitors on either side. I posted an image on the YouTube community channel if you want to take a look at it. But without further ado, let's just get on with it. All right, so what am I looking here? You should be able to see yen pairs, is what I think. Let me see if I think I can turn this light off. All right, we'll try that. Coolio. So let's start. CAD yen. Cool. CAD yen. Open out of position. Okay. Hit the target early, which is a Tuesday in this case. And you should expect a reasonably large pullback. In fact, if there is going to be, if it's going to play by the rules, which it doesn't have to, then in this situation, oh wait, I don't have a drawing tool up here. Hang on, let's do this. Let me show you how to customize MetaTrader 4 while you're on the fly. All right, so you go customize, and I want to find, if I clicked on the right one, tools. Let's see, rectangle tool. So I want to add that to the toolbar. Now I got one. Thank you, MT4. All right, so anyways, we got that. Oh, I don't like that color, so now you got to customize it. Once you customize the color, hello, gonna make me put my glasses on or something? Why can't I grab this? There we go. I want to change the color on this. Let's make it, there's this dark gray, lavender. Forget where light gray. Oh, there it is. Light gray. There we go. Cool. So now the next time I draw a rectangle box, it's going to stay that color. So that makes it really easy, right? Cool. So anyways, oh, we're probably going to have to draw this one differently too. Yeah. So I just grabbed a line. What you have to do is trend line. I like to make it fat or fatter. And then you got to go to parameters and turn ray off because nobody loves ray. All right, cool. So the first thing I want to look at, or let's say in this scenario, very often what I'm looking at is this is an OOP into a CT counter trend. Generally, the counter trend target after such a situation. Remember, it's just it doesn't have to, but there's certainly a high probability of it, higher than in other situations. In this situation, very often you get a retracement back to the weekly central pivot. That's the first thing in my mind. The second thing that I always have to do is identify support and resistance. And so that's why I did this, because a bear is still going to want to sell at this 83 level. So if you didn't sell there, you're probably not a bear. Okay. It's pretty straightforward. Just as straightforward as last Friday. If you're a bear selling at this 83.50, very straightforward. Okay, that's just a Friday front run. We would have planned this on a Thursday. You would have taken it on a Friday, and by Tuesday, you're already got money in the bank. So you should be out of that trade. Now, if you're still a bear and you have all the reason or all the permission to continue to be, you would then look to resell in here, which means now it's moved about 30 pips. You maybe moved your stop to break even because you know you're vulnerable to the up higher side move, right? You see what I mean? Cool. So that's that. So there's opportunity there for bears, there's opportunity for bulls. Okay, very cool. Very similar situation here. You can see that we have a very straightforward weekly swing trade. So you would have planned it on Thursday, sold it on Friday. Perfect trade, perfect swing trade. Remember, if you don't know how to swing trade, join. Go to swing.fxbootcamp.com. Join so you can take the swing trading course there and join our group. Okay, but this is very, very tradable up into the sell zone. But once again, OOP into a counter trend setup on top of a monthly target. Okay, you should have taken profit here for sure. Okay, you might be sort of, let's say, enticed to get back into here. For the same reasons on the CAD yen, I don't think that would be the wisest thing to do. Okay, it may fall further, but that's not the point. The point is to identify risk. So, anyways, so here's the trade we did in December. You see, I sold it in December because I was front running January, and we sold it at 76.50. We're now down near 73.50. Cool. Nice, right? That's how you trade, bro. Okay. Now you have to start worrying about next month, right? Okay. And even if you're a bear, you want this to rise higher for next month. Um, in this situation, you have to be thinking about what's happening now, what you think might happen the next couple of weeks. Um, you know, you're going to have to start folding things in. Like, are you really afraid of the virus idea of macro? economic contraction because of it? If so, you'd probably at least maintain your bias, not necessarily maintain your trades. But if you are extremely confident in your bias, and by extreme I mean not something you typically do. Okay, but let's say you were a bear, and on top of that, you believe there's new fundamental reasons for this to contract even further. Japanese yen strength, Aussie dollar weakness, or just global macro risk off. In that case, you're going to let it open out of position, and your next target is basically 71.50 to 72, really. Okay. And you would just assume the OOP, right, out of position. You would assume that, and that we would hit that early, let's say early February, like the first week. Yes, I just showed that, David, but let me do it again. David has a question about drawing with the trend line. Okay, so let's do this. You draw the line. Okay, Davey, go to properties. Oops, grabbed the wrong one. There we go. Trend line properties. Okay, first thing you want to do is adjust the thickness to your liking. So let me make mine a little bit thicker. Why not? Okay, and then you need to go to here, and what you'll see right now, David, when you do that, you'll see that ray is checked. When ray is checked, it goes forever, like a ray of sun. Well, that makes it very difficult to draw, right? So what I do is I uncheck ray, and now it just goes from here to here to here. Blah, blah, blah. Prince says, when do you get ready for the next month? We actually did that last week in the swing trading group. Okay. So if you're not prepared for February, you're already behind. Okay, let's do some Kiwi. Okay. Very similar. Here's the December front run. Okay. There's the false rally, and then the continuation that we predicted months ago. By the way, have I finally fully earned your respect on this idea that we had in July and August and September and October and November? Have I fully got you emotionally committed where we have the big drop in January, the false rally, and then back into the range? Do we have like full emotional commitment on that now? Oops. You're like, this guy gets it. This guy knows something. It's important, right? Because if you don't believe it, then I don't know, you won't do it. You have to have 100% buy-in. You emotionally, right? And I did tell you at least 6 months in advance, right? At least 6 months in advance that that was going to happen. And it happened on virtually every Japanese yen pair. I only said it would happen on Japanese yen pairs, right? Of course, that would then include some Swissies and maybe dollar and all that kind of stuff. But I want you just like to submit emotionally and just like, because when you get to that point, you get to a point of learning. Because I think psychologically we have something in the back of our brains that fights something new. Oh, it can't be true. Oh, it's just a guess. Oh, it can't be repeated. Oh, it's impossible. Oh, this. Oh, that. And you got to get to a point where those voices go away. And now you're just like ready to go from student to master because you're fully, not just intellectually, but emotionally committed, right? And by committed, I don't mean crazy house. So, anyways, that's that. Cool. What do I got going on? I haven't looked at my charts for a couple of days. Let's see. I'm short Euro, Turkish lira, Aussie yen, Kiwi Swissy, USD Mexican peso, Euro lira, Euro yen, and Euro ZAR, making money on everything. Oh, good me! Woohoo! Yay! Good for me. Cool. Does right? So, anyways, that's nice. Coolio. Look at this. We're at this point now. On my swap, I've crossed 800% return on investment just on the swap on that one trade. 800% already in the bank. Nice. Okay. But when you add the pips, it's what, 1,500% return on investment? Yeah, not bad. All right. Let's move on.com. Beep. Let's do Swissy. Okay. I guess let's go with Kiwi since I had a couple of these going. Let's take a look at where we are. Okay. Cool. There's my first trade. There's the target. I've nailed the target twice now. Okay. Again, there's the December front run off of the January M3. The target is January M1, or sorry, S2, right? And now what? Up, 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 up. Okay. And here's the reset if you want to draw it this way. You know what? Let me do something here. I'll have to change it on everything if I go this way. What I want to do here, this should be, where'd it go? Where did it go? I was just looking at it. Gray color pivot point. Okay. That's how it's supposed to be. So, anyways, you can see this reset here is in the middle of February sell zone. Okay. You see that? So I could mentally allow this to be the front run. Okay. Right. You see this? Because this is the sell zone and this is the projected high. If the market is bullish, but we're not bulls, we're bears. So we're like, if that ain't going anywhere. So that's a front run from last week. So, like I said before, we're really swing traders had already, moved in on this last week. This week's sell zone, sorry, not this week, next week's sell zone, even though it's only Wednesday today, next week's sell zone is in this period. So as a bear now, my general attitude, aka bias, is this. Okay. And my target for next week, which I would be setting up now, is take it down to here. What do you think? Okay. Any thoughts? And by the way, we will start earlier tomorrow. We'll start earlier. I'm not sure what time, but earlier than today. How about that? Well, Raj, why don't you tell me if you think they're going to go up or down? Yeah, that's right, Max. So you probably should be in by now, right? I'm right here, Barry. Where are you? All right. By the way, you'd love it. I'm wearing white denim with a black jacket. Sexy. Sexy mother. Boop, boop. Yep. Cool. So dollar is stronger than Swissy right now. Okay. Chris says earlier the better. Yeah. Okay. Well, see, that's the problem, Raj. You just, if I took that as an answer, then they're contradicting each other. Okay. Aussie dollar and USD CAD cannot both go short term up from here or longer term down. Okay. Is this a USD sell zone? Well, do you like selling double bottoms? I think the only way you could sell this is to believe you are range bound. Okay. So this would be your plan. And you are also bearish on the US dollar and bullish on the Swissy. Therefore, you would be thinking at least this to this. Then you would add to the range trade, you would add a swing trade, which is this to this, which seems pretty believable in the moment. So now you'd get off the 4 hour, drop onto like a 15, and start looking for shorter term reversal patterns on the 15 or the 5. Okay. So the best way to have answered that, Raj, okay, just so we're speaking the same language, right? If you think USD CAD short and dollar up, you just say USD weak, USD weakness, okay? Because that's all it is. Now, then it wouldn't matter whether it's CAD, Aussie, Kiwi, pound, euro. You would just say straight up dollar, US dollar weakness, and now you got 9 trades if you want. Well, almost 9, but 5 or 6 trades, right? For sure. Because after that, it's just relative strength. That's why it's good to have a strong bias for a funding currency, or in this case a reserve currency, because it's the basis of all your trades. Okay, so let's take a look at Swissy. Pound Swissy up, Euro Swissy up, Dollar Swissy up, Aussie Swissy's yeah sort of up. Okay, CAD Swissy up, and Kiwi Swissy. Well, that's a 4 hour. More like down on the 4 hour, but so now we're caught here. Currently, the Swiss franc is weak, which is risk on, but some of these on a higher time frame probably look like it's got bearishness attached to it. This one, not so much actually. This is sort of right. So this now then tells me something. Swiss franc is weak, but also the Aussie and the Kiwi. Okay, good thing I'm short Aussie and Kiwi. Okay, once again, we're not really at support, we're not really at resistance. This is probably not a good trade in the moment, but you might want to look at your bias for next week and say, well, what? Well, we're neutral even on next month because we're at the central pivot. So there's really on pound Swissy really not a lot to do at the moment, except maybe take high risk trades for a little reward. Euro Swissy, don't really like trading Euro Swissy. Okay, but let's take a look. Not quite high enough to sell and a little late to buy. You know, story of my life, right? Maybe do some dollar pairs. Well, weak dollar is good, Steel. You have to understand that. Weak dollar is good. Okay. Excuse me. Aussie dollar, I guess, here. Okay. It doesn't take a rocket surgeon to understand this was your sell, this was your target, you're now on your target. In the last week of the month, you should probably take profit. That's a standard, boring swing trade. I'll say it for the millionth time. If you don't know how to swing trade, you're depriving yourself of your destiny. If you don't do trades like that, you're not on the clue train. Okay? So the next one now, we need a rise to sell or a double bottom to rise. Right? So if you're a bull, now I don't know if you really want to be a bull in this. Let's back out. That doesn't look incredibly bullish, but it's definitely at support, right? So a standard operating procedure here, if you happen to be a bull, is you're probably going to treat this like a range. Nonetheless, you're going to treat it like support, and bears are probably going to treat it like support. Like I said, if you're a bear, you're really supposed to be taking profit here, which sets up the potential for the bulls. So a bull is going to look for this over the next couple of days, and they're going to want to be long at this, I don't know, 67.5, and they're going to go to the top of the range. Not necessarily the pivots, just the top of the range, because pivots are for trends, and if you're not in a trend, you're not in the game. Cool, right? What happened to Bitcoin? You guys want to do Bitcoin? I have it somewhere else, I think. I just downloaded all this stuff off MetaTraders yesterday, so it's organized a little different. Oh, so here we go. Okay, now what? Okay, we had already talked about this. Oops, let me do this again. Oh, it's doing it dark. Well, anyways, we already talked about this quite a while ago. I guess that is hard to see, so let's try it this way. Okay, roll reversal in the middle of the February buy zone. It's already long and gone. So now all you could do is rinse and repeat, but that's what we do as traders. So if you're a bull on Bitcoin, as it approaches 9,000, you'd be a buyer. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, short-term target for Bitcoin is just shy of 10K. Nothing, right? The same as here. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Same as here. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Same as here. Up, 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 down, down, buy. And then there should be an up, up, and up. I'm not telling you Bitcoin's going up. I'm saying if you're a bull and you're a trend trader, that's pretty straightforward. Okay. Okay. If you're day trading, you're going to be paying more attention to the current 4-hour 21, which is seen basically at where we are now. Okay. But you'd be playing this role reversal like that, la di da di da. Okay. It just depends on the time frame and your confidence level. Okay. Bears would probably look for it to go up to 10K and then probably use 10K as resistance. Does that make sense? All right. What do you want to cover next? Hang on, I can't see that, Max. Let me pop the chat. Wayne, previous and future buy sell zones have veracity when entering trades. Future. I don't know, but like the previous wouldn't matter. Okay. We're always looking forward, not in the past. Okay. WTI. Okay. Kicking off the 4-hour 21 and now approaching 50. That's a pretty significant move. So, Max, the way I would look at this if I was a bear and I had already taken it down, remember this did a full Monty. So let's review this. What I mean by a full Monty. Oil opened out of position, hit the target early, counter trend back into the central pivot. All of that is predictable. After that, I really don't know. Makes a lower low, lower high, kicks off the central, drops all the way back now to the bearish sell zone. So it's gone from the predicted high for January to the predicted low for January. That's what I mean by a full Monty. This is predictable. The retracement's predictable. And then this is a follow on, especially when we had additional news added to it. So this is, if you were already bear off of this was pretty good too. And now you might be trying to set up one more trade. Now, it's a little late, and I feel like it's a little bit picking up crumbs. But once again, with the new news, the new fundamental news about global economic activity contracting because of the virus, borders getting closed, businesses being shut down, all this kind of stuff, then that would be an exogenous demand shock, which I explained in a previous video. And that's a pretty rare thing, but it may actually be occurring that you'd be selling off resources like this because there'd just be less demand. Okay. So in that case, you'd stay a bear and using standard trading, methodology, you would sell off the 4-hour 21. Okay, that would be your first thought. Then you would drop into a smaller time frame and line this up with next week's sell zone. Next week's sell zone. Remember, I'm not talking about this week's sell zone. Next week's sell zone is right here, so you'd be looking to sell it somewhere between 54 and certainly 55, and that's already flipping. It's already dropped, so it's actually moved this down. It would have been higher earlier. So you're already on Monday's trade right now. You're about 8 hours late for next week's trades. Do you guys understand that? Like it's a huge mental breakthrough. When that finally hits you, you'll see why um, planning ahead is going to um, radically improve your trading results. I'm never talking about today. I'm talking about this is next week's trade. Next month's trade, actually, too. It's a little out of position for the month, but that can happen. So this might go out of position, drop like a ton of bricks in the beginning of February, hit our February target early, which would induce profit taking, and then you'd get a counter trend back to the central pivot, which is currently sitting around 57, but with an out of position move, especially this week, that would probably drop closer to 56. Isn't that neat? Steele says weak dollar creates an oil rally. That's not 100% correct. What you're saying is there's a high correlation. Okay. You can absolutely have a weak dollar and falling oil prices because, first of all, you're talking about two different things. One, Oil can fall because there's no demand for oil. So the only way to increase demand for oil is drop the price. That's you selling it. You, the oil producer, you, the the refinery that is, or whatever, right? In that case, you're not buying oil, you're selling oil, or you're buying oil and then you're creating products from it. But then let's say you're just the oil producer, right? So you got billions of dollars invested sucking oil out of the ground. Do you want to sell oil today? Do you want to sell oil tomorrow? Do you want to sell oil next week? Yeah, you got 50,000 employees. Of course you want to sell oil, right? Well, if there's no demand, you're going to have to lower your prices. Standard economics, right? But at the same time, the dollar can be weak. Do you understand? Like the falling dollar does not create bullishness for oil. Now, I understand what you're saying. If everything else is equal, which is never, but when you go to school, professors love to say this because they don't know what they're talking about. So they'll say, oh, well, all else being equal, if the dollar's weak, you're going to have to spend more dollars to buy oil, and therefore oil prices go up. Yeah, but that is a secondary, that's a secondary variable. The primary variable is, do people even want to buy your oil? So the dollar might be weak, but if no one wants to buy your oil, well, you're also going to have to lower your price. And that is the exogenous demand shock that we're seeing based on this virus. Very, very rare, but that's going to be the thing that drops us back to 50. If you would have asked me this 3 months ago, or 2 months ago, or a month ago, I'd say, yeah, it's very unlikely to go all the way back to 50. And even when we're there, we're probably going to be buyers. But now we've had this exogenous demand shock. Now, exogenous supply shock, yeah, that happens a lot. That forces prices up. An exogenous demand shock is very, very rare, and it's because it's usually localized, not globalized, right? But if like China wants to buy less oil, oil price is going to fall. Why? Because it's such a large economy. But if there's an exogenous demand shock in, um, Denmark, you know, no impact. But a global virus shutting down economic activity around the world, yeah, okay, that's different, right? So, anyways, so if you are a bear, remember this; those are the magic words. This will determine when you're going to be profitable. When you've made a decision if you're a bull or a bear, then you can start planning your trades and you will start finding success. So if you are a believer in the exogenous demand shock based on the coronavirus, then selling on the 4 hour 21 is like obvious. Selling off next week's sell zone for swing trading is obvious. You should also be able to look at next month's pivots and say, oh, well, this might drop based on this new fundamental news, but then we're going to be out of position. So it'll probably drop hard and fast. And then there's going to be a counter trend. Therefore, I'm going to take profit early in February. You need to be able to do all of this. I've just predicted the next 2 weeks of price action if that one thing is true. But if you're not understanding the one thing, then everything else is irrelevant. Okay? Is that good? Too esoteric? Dude, it's what trading is, right? So we did some dollar pairs, we did some yen pairs, we did some Swissy pairs. I just did uh, Bitcoin and oil. I think I'm done for today. What do you think? Any last questions? Max says, Wayne, does the idea apply if the virus problem is in the USA? It's a global issue. I'm a macro guy, Max. Okay. If the virus shut down just the United States, would that impact oil prices? Well, we'd have to talk about it. The United States is the largest economy in the world. Okay. It does have oil, but would the US going into a recession because of such thing cause a global economic pandemic? Yeah, probably. Yeah, the United States is that big. If China was shut down, would that impact global money flow and economic activity? Yeah, if China shut down. Yeah. If Australia shut down, would it impact Canada? Not much. Okay. I don't know if Canadians buy Australian beef. I don't know if Canadians buy Australian wheat. Okay. So, anyways, the decision, like, don't think of it as hmm, how do I'm trying to express what I'm thinking. The the more important thing than the news we're talking about is simply making a decision, yes or no. Flip a coin if you have to. And when you flip the coin, you say, the world's going into a pandemic because of the virus, therefore you want risk off. Or you flip a coin and say, um, the virus issue is overstated and global macroeconomic global macroeconomic activity will continue. Okay, so you flip a coin, and now you know what to do for the next 3 months. One is total risk off, the other one's total risk on. And now you know what you're going to do before you do it. You know what you're going to do today. You know what you're looking for tomorrow. You know what you're looking for next week. You know what you're looking for next month. And those trades will either set up or they won't set up. So therefore, if you're wrong, you won't get any decent trades. If you're right, you're going to make money. That's how you want to be as a trader. Sitting down at your charts every day going, I want to buy this, I want to sell this, I want to buy this, I want to sell this, I want to buy this, I want to sell this. That is not what I'm talking about. That is tradable. That is something you can do. But if you don't understand how to trade, you're focusing on trying to be a race car driver, but you don't know how to drive a car. And you want to learn how to feather your foot as you're driving. Dude, you don't know how to drive at all. This is to turn the wheels so you can steer. Oh, really? Didn't you know that? Right? You need to know the basics of driving first and then kind of move in, right? So intraday trading is fantastic, and timing these moves are very similar to timing the moves on the higher time frame. In fact, what you'll find as you get better, if you can trade this 1 hour chart, you can trade the 1 minute chart. But you got to be very good at the 1 hour chart first. And what do I mean by good? First of all, you're patient, you're disciplined, you're biased, you've done your homework, you're willing to plan your trades in advance, you're willing to enter your trades when you're supposed to, and you let your winners run. But if it all falls apart, you cut your losses quick. Most people in this room are still should be on the 4 hour chart and the 1 hour chart learning how to drive a car. But when you're an awesome, 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 awesome car driver, okay, right? When you can drive your BMW 3 Series, great. Then let's get you on a racetrack. Here's a Formula One. Have a seat. Let's go. Okay. But you got to start somewhere. So, like, intraday trading's great. Love it, love it, love it, love it. But if you can't buy it here and go up, then what's the point of everything else? If you're a bull, this is so stupid easy that, like, you're losing money in here and you're missing like the obvious stuff. So why don't we get the planning part together, get your house in order, so to speak, and then drill down. Once you know how to plan your month, then you can plan your week. Once you can plan your week, you can plan your day. Once you can plan your day, you can plan your session. Once you're inside of a session, you can scalp. You see what I mean? So we'll get to that. Okay. By the way, I'm going to post a video. I recorded it while I was driving yesterday, and I just haven't had time. I'm going to post it, and it's going to ask you about what's holding you back. I'm going to start sending like these video surveys, maybe just 2 or 3, and I want to know where you need help in certain aspects of your trading so that you get better. Okay. So, for example, I'm very interested like day trading because I'm going to do this course coming up. Like, what do you need for me to become a better day trader so that you can make money day trading, right? So I'm going to post a video, a couple of videos, and I'd like you to respond to the video on that particular aspect. So you'll see there's a theme to the video, and you'll respond and say, yeah, this is my problem on that theme when it comes to day trading. This is what my problem, and then I'll post another one, and you'll respond to that. Yeah, okay, on this issue, these are my problems. Okay, I'm going to incorporate that into the program. All right. We good? Thank you for being on my team. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It'll be earlier. I'm not in my normal time zone and all that kind of stuff, so I don't know what it's going to be. My schedules are a little weird, but if I'm committed to serving you, right? I am a servant to you, so I'm committed to you. I will be here tomorrow morning. It might be a weird time. I'm thinking it'll be more like 8:30 Eastern time. Okay. So now that I got YouTube set up and all that kind of stuff, we'll get that done. Okay. I'm tasting the best of the best when it comes to the whiskey. So so far so good. I'm quite pleased. So peace on earth. Hey, let's do it this way. Oh, I gotta go over there. Let's do this. Beep 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 beep. Nope. Hang on. Well, boy, that was a big effort. All right. I just wanted to say goodbye. All right, cool. Well, anyways, thanks for being flexible with me. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. And boom, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being on my team, folks. Peace out. Now I have to figure out how to turn this off. It's a little different from being at home. By the way, don't you just love Death by Marriott? Yeah. All right, cool. 3, 2, 1.